What's up, everybody? I'm just here, sitting here on a Saturday afternoon. It's that season. Everybody's out on their bikes. I need to get out on mine. But I just wanted to catch up with you guys before I do. The past couple years, the channel has been down because I went through a whole bunch of obstacles in my pathway to success. Mainly a couple accidents, a couple knee surgeries, and some deaths in the family. It's like crazy the past couple years. So let me tell you, I was riding to work one day and a guy cut me off. I ran into the back of him and basically tore the whole front end of my bike up. Put it in the shop, and the shop took, but this was in June. I didn't get my bike back until April of the next year. And I'm not gonna name the shop, but they did a poor ass job, excuse my language, on fixing my bike. So I didn't have my bike, and then I had my other bike. I had my Dyna. My Road Glide was down, but my Dyna was up and ready to roll. So I was riding it. And what do you know? I'm coming back from a trip down to Orange County, and a young lady's driving along. For some reason, she claims someone was about to hit her. So she swerves right into me, knocking me off the bike. I go flying into the next lane on my face, skid my helmet up, get transported over to USC. And my goodness, those of you who have been at USC County General, that is a zoo over there. While I'm sitting in there, man, there's gangsters coming in there. They got people handcuffed to their beds. There was a fight in the waiting room. People were crying. It was madness. They walked the guy in, shackled up. I was like, what am I doing here? So that was my second accident. So both my bikes got hit in accidents, and I had to get them both fixed. So that took me out the game for a while. Then I came upon knee surgery. So I had to have knee surgery and knee replacement on my right knee. And that had me down for a while. I was down for about 6 months. And then just as I was feeling ready to ride the bike again, I had just gotten my Road Glide back, and I was ready to ride my bike again, I had to have the other surgery. So it was just one thing after another. So I was down for a while again, and just dealing with that. Now I'm back up. I'm riding. I'm getting myself out there. And then what? The gas prices are ridiculous right now. So I just filled up. Goodness. It was like $31 to fill up my Road Glide. $31. I remember filling it up for $13. Roll in, $13. I was done. 6 gallons. It shouldn't be that much. And so I filled it up for $31. And I've been riding it around, but you just don't want to get crazy riding all over the place nowadays. And it's just been wild. Been out to some events. There's some other events coming up. You got other people experiencing a lot of problems. I got a buddy from Soldiers for the Soldiers for Christ, and Soldiers for Jesus, and his wife been going through a battle with cancer. So they had a fundraiser for her, and it was a pretty good turnout for that. But just so many people dealing with disease and despair. It's really sad. We're praying for all these people. There's so much going on in our world. Everything around us just seems to be falling apart. There's calamity all over. You got this nonsense going on with Iran. You got the nonsense going on with Israel. You got the nonsense going on with the immigration issues. nonsense going on with the all this fraud that's going on, governmental fraud. You can't even watch the news anymore. I used to be someone who sat down and watched the news every day. I can't do it. I can't stomach anymore. Too much negativity. I stopped watching as much of that stuff nowadays. I still watch some YouTube videos and whatnot, but I pretty much gave up watching a lot of the news because it's just one negative story after another. Whether you voted for Trump or not, whether you like Trump or not, no one can be 100% bad. No one. So everything that this man supposedly does, they vilify him for it. You know, so whether you like him or not, stop it. Stop it. You know, I'd say the same for a Democratic person. Not everything these people do is bad. You know, but that's where we're at. We're in a polarized world. We started that nonsense a while back, and they kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And at the time, I was telling everyone that I knew, this is what's going to happen. And lo and behold, it is what happened. This is what happened. Where we're at now, it was foreseeable. You know, and if you study history and you see the decline of empires, the decline of nations, we're in that state right now. Our borders are porous, our economy is weak. You know, we're barely holding on with anything, trying to force people to hold up our dollar. It's crazy. And you got all these psycho people running and trying to implement these policies that can't be good. You know, I work in education. I've been a teacher for a long time. And this past school year, it's just been a battle, one battle after another, nonsense. You know, wokeness in my classroom turned against me. You know, I'm battling students. They're trying to, they sense that I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative. And so they're always pressing me to see who did I vote for? Did I vote for Trump? Because of course, if I voted for Trump, I got to be evil. I got to be racist and all this nonsense. You know, I got in trouble for using the term illegal alien in the class. They ran and reported me as a racist and you know, I'm saying, how can I be racist? That's a legal term. I didn't make the term. I used the term that's in the book. You know, it's in the legal books. How can I be bad? So, you know, that's just where we're at. That's just where we're at. I had students celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Who celebrates the death of a person based on what they said? You know, respect your enemies. Even if they're your enemy, you respect them. You know? What did you do to combat whatever you claim he did? What did you do? Nothing. Sat there, bitched and moaned, complained. You know, sat on your couch like a little punk and did nothing. We got all these people out here. These little boys are metrosexuals. I got kids hugging and kissing on each other, touching on each other. I'm sitting there in my classroom watching boys put their hands in each other's laps, put their heads in each other's laps. You can be gay all you want, but don't do that in my class. What kind of nonsense is that? Where's the decorum? You put your head in a boy's lap in the classroom. At least be respectful, no PDA, right? But that's where we're at in this society. These things are acceptable. They're advocated. If I were to speak to it, I'd be wrong. You know, if I speak to these types of situations, then I'm the bad guy. I get the discipline. Can you imagine, like, you call a police on someone, and when they get there, they arrest you? That's the way it is nowadays. That's the way it is. I got reported for telling a girl to fix her outfit. She's showing her breasts, and I said, "Hey, can you please cover?" I got in trouble. Not her for being out of uniform, being out of compliance with the dress code. No, me for asking her to fix it. That's where we're at in this world. And the adults that advocate and allow for it, shame on them. They're the ones responsible. Someone needs to step in and be the parent nowadays. Too many parents want to be friends. Too many parents are scared of the system. Schools are afraid to lose the students because then they lose the cash. So they let anything go. That's where we're at. And that's what I've been dealing with. So that's why I haven't been pushing out videos for the past couple of years. I've just been battling one thing after another. But my goal now is to get back on it, get back into the game, start pushing the videos out, get back on the road. You know, I got some fans out there. I'm glad, you know, not as many as I could have, but I hope to build that fan base up. You know, push Jesus, push Harleys, push cigars. And so hopefully with that, you guys will ride with me, stay with me, smoke with me, talk with me, give me your feedback. You know, I got a video that I did a couple years ago about God's outlaws. That's my most popular video. And I always get comments on there. Oh, you can't be an outlaw. You can't be this. You can't be that. Okay. Well, I'm going to argue with you for. There's no point in arguing with somebody over the internet. It might be a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid. I don't know. So, but I'm going to push out content. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I hope that you like it. I hope that you subscribe. And I hope that you keep coming and checking out my content. I just wanted to touch base with you today. That's why I'm doing this little quick video right here. I didn't write anything out. I didn't even really think through it. I just said, hey, let me do a video and, you know, kind of get something new out there. I put a couple little things up the past few days, and I'm working on a couple other channels at the same time. I got a story time channel called Infamous Histories TV, where I just tell stories. Some of the stories I know firsthand, and others I've heard about and researched. One story that I know firsthand, if you go there and you check it out, is the Domino Pizza killer story. Yeah, back in the day, some of you may not know. Well, most of you probably don't know, but I did go to law school. I graduated law school a while back. And I clerked at a capital defense law firm in South Carolina, Center for Capital Litigation. And at that time, we represented a whole slew of people. Some of them have been pretty, I guess, famous in the death penalty field. They're well-known cases. You know, we had some innocent people, literally, innocent people who were kind of given the shaft. But this guy was one that came through, and I got to see the crime scene videos and evidence at that time. This was back in 2000, 99, 2000. Yeah. And I got to see the crime scene photos and the video of the guy dead in the bathtub that I talk about in the story. So, you know, it was interesting. But I'm going to come with more stories like that, stories I know of, stories that I've come across in my time. And so hopefully if you like to hear stories like that, true crime, weird type stories, then you'll check it out. It's Infamous Histories TV. So keep following me. Follow Herfin on Harley. Subscribe. Follow and subscribe to Infamous Histories TV. Until next time, this, like I said, was just I just threw this up to get something out there. They say just put anything out. I hope it's not just trash, but put anything out to just get some momentum building again, because that's my whole purpose, my whole goal. So I want to get you guys back interested in the channel, get things active again, and this was my opportunity to kind of launch that along. So until next time, tomorrow's Easter, get into church. You know, people always get busy and celebrate Christmas. Some people still have their Christmas lights up. I still have my parole on the front door. If you don't know, that's the Filipino star with the lights. I still have that on the front door. Never took it down. And they're already at Easter time. But the truth is, the more important day, if we're going to say one is important, is Easter. Easter is far more important than Christmas. But we put all this emphasis on Christmas. Why? Because there's all the gift giving. It's the season of love, the season of family, togetherness, all of this. But the truth is, Jesus, who we're supposed to be celebrating his birth at Christmas, he was born for a specific reason. And that reason was to come and to die on the cross for our sins. That's the reason why he was born. So what we're celebrating at Christmas, why didn't we not put that emphasis? Why don't we give that same energy to the death, the burial, and the resurrection of our Lord and Savior on Christmas? Excuse me. Strike that. I'm not going to edit. On Easter. Why do we not put our energy, the same energy, into Easter that we put into Christmas, when the whole point is Easter? The point of him coming was not Christmas. It wasn't so that we could celebrate him being born. It was to celebrate him being risen from the grave. And you know he was risen, right? They still ain't found that body. And that's one of my stories on Infamous Histories TV also. So get to church tomorrow. Get early, because, you know, it's unfortunate. There's a couple days out the year where churches get packed. I don't know. They're not packed every Sunday or Saturday if you're a Sabbath keeper. But they're always packed on Christmas and Easter. They're always packed on Ash Wednesday, Palm Sunday, Good Friday. The rest of the time, nobody goes. You know, I'd rather go to the club. You know, I was out partying a little late last night. Can't get up. I'm at Bedside Baptist this morning. You know, I watch it on the internet. You know, it's good that you watch it, but you know, how many of us watch that service on the internet and then roll over to Pornhub? But you know, pastor, you know, you're watching Mark Driscoll talk about manhood, and then, you know, he's giving you a little thing about the Song of Solomon. You know, he's got a couple good sermons on the Song of Solomon, and he's telling you all this stuff, and then you get a little worked up there, and then you drift off to Pornhub and, you know, take care of yourself. But get up and get out. Get to church. I'm going. I'll be at church tomorrow. I'll be there to get my blessing of just being in the presence of others who are worshiping the Lord. All right? And then I'll be back on with some more video content. So I'm kind of rambling right now. I feel it. So I apologize for that, but I hope you guys are with me. All right. Love you guys. Herfin on Harleys is back. Check out Infamous Histories TV, and let's get this thing going. Take it easy.